Alright, what's up y'all, it's LakerFan here. As you can see by the title of today's video, here to show you the play that beats every defense in NBA 2K26. Now this is my play that I've deemed cycle is the terminology for this. This is essentially all 5 of your teammates getting involved at once in a play, and it's mainly meant to be, as you can see, a player like Bonnie right here getting involved as a shooter. So what you're going to see is a little reset right here from up to the top on me right here, and as soon as I get it, I'm going to call the cycle right is the terminology I'm going with right here. So essentially, the direction that I'm calling is going to decide what direction everybody's going to be moving, and the only thing it's somewhat confusing for is the corners, because obviously if I say cycle right, some might think that the left corner should just be the one actually going through, but this is more to identify the terminology for the top people, like me up top, Dre up top, and then Bonnie right here up top as well. So cycle right is the call, as you can see. Ideally, you want Bonnie to low-key go after me, and I need to go after Dre. So essentially, the proper timing on this, or like how you could sync up with your boys a little bit easier on a play like this, is whoever is the front of the cycle, aka in this case, it's Apollo in the corner right here, for him to cut, and then Dre follow, then me follow, then Bonnie follow, and then Waff right here as well. It is literally just a either full team moving clockwise or counterclockwise movement right here. Now, you might say, what happens if someone zones this? What if they just sit in the spots they already are, because eventually someone's gonna be moving to their spot? Problem is, that means in a 5-out offense, if they zone it per se, that nobody's guarding the cut. Nobody's on the initial cut from Apollo right here, so it'd just be wide open. So this summer I decided I wanted to sit down and make a whole actual playbook and stuff like that, and I really developed like a lot of stuff in my brain as far as what I wanted to bring to the table for our Pro-Am team, as well as just in general, that I kind of wanted to show you guys stuff like this as well. So drop a like if you appreciate this type of content. I'd like to post more. Gonna be like short video cut-ups of like me running a couple of certain plays and detailing that specific play in general. And again, this right here is cycle is the call for this, as you can see right here, and blah blah blah. Little mini 5-out playbook that I created recently. But yeah, in our lineup, we do have stretch bigs as the 4 and the 5. This can work for no matter who's your hashes, essentially. These are the roles. So if you call cycle left right here as an example, it's going to be your left hash filling in, and then it's going to be your right hash moving up to the left. Your identification of what you call as the point guard in this for the direction of left or right is all just based on what you want you and the wings to do, and then the teammates are going to have to figure out the terminology of what does left mean when I'm in left corner, what does left mean when I'm in right corner. And in this case, cycle left would mean if you are in the right corner, you're gonna be flaring up. It's just like to allow the options of like all the motion to move left essentially, or clockwise if you will. So then cycle right would be counterclockwise. Everybody's gonna be moving to the right, and boom, it's gonna mean that the corner right here of the 3 would actually be the one to cut through. So not only with this video did I want to show you guys what the actual play itself looks like, and we'll have way more clips that I can show you as well, and like really intricate things of like fun ways to set it up differently as well. But with this, I do want to show you also like kind of why I run it. So if I'm in a 5-out offense, me as a slasher, essentially. I run point guard as like a slash primary point guard that is still a point center. I have like high offensive rebound and stuff like that, so I can turn into a screener sometimes when I'd like to. But what I really want to do is if I get stalled out in the ISO and someone is bumping me a lot, I'm down to like 1 or 2 adrenaline, something like that, I don't really want to shoot the ball anymore, I am going to turn myself into a playmaker at that point. And what this is if I call that cycle left, I want my 5 right here, or whoever's on my right hash as a stretch big, like a, you know, a 6'8" sharp or something like that, whoever it is, I want them to have a lot of space to work off that wrap up right here, as you saw with Bonnie, and I want them to get into the middle and run away from their defender, while I also pull my defender away as well. Now, we'll have another clip that showcases where if they actually play this all correctly on the off balls and I just get left wide open because they were focused on this play too much, that you can like react to that in a different way as well. But as you can see, the motion sets up right here with a pretty much setting me up to an overload. Now, what I could do after that, for that matter, is let's say I wanted to set it up again. I could tell my 5 right here to wrap across to the right hash, and now there I am back in the middle once again. And now we can cycle left or right once again because I'm at the top of the key. If you really wanted to and you're interchangeable with your teammates, you could even like just pass the ball right here and then run the cycle again. But I'm quite the like pivot point of our lineup, essentially. I'm not really meant to be the off-ball player. I'm much more with the ball in my hands or like as a screener and stuff like that. But anyway, getting a little too detailed in this part of the video. Let's go ahead and get back into the clips. I just wanted to give you guys a breakdown of what everything exactly looked like for each role. Alright, so once again, let's let this just go ahead and play out. As you can see, the process has already started. This is that cycle right, and I've already shown this play, so we're going to start actually getting into this a little bit more. So, boom, as you can see, cycle right, allowing Bonnie with that, you know, deep bomber takeover. I have Dish Master equipped as well. You're going to see in a lot of these clips, I'm trying to become a playmaker because of me having Dish Master active as well. Right here, cycle right once again, opening up the court for Bonnie a little bit, while also his defender is going to have to react to that. Now, you are also going to be like, well, what if they just essentially, you know, played a little bit higher, right? Well, we have countermeasures to that as well. As you can see, reverse cycle. So if I call reverse on this play and I see they're overreacting to this way too much and people have this like played where, let's say he was like cutting off that right side because they've seen it enough at this point, right? What we can do is once I call that, I can call reverse. Right then, everybody just undoes what they do. Apollo fakes the cut, comes back out. And you can see I was a little bit jumbled up with Dre, a tad bit, I will acknowledge that. But what it's more meant to do is not really have everything be clean with me with the ball nearby, as long as I am just using Bonnie as the main pivot point of like where I'm trying to get at with the scoring. Because as you can see, Dre probably reacts a little bit quicker than I probably would have been prepared for. So then I'm a little bit jumbled up on him. It's okay though. Point being, this reverse cycle is really what you're trying to get at, is just something of these off balls was going to be open if they were to move back. Like let's say for instance, if Apollo's guy played his cut well, we can reverse it and boom, that's a two-step is a better, you know, terminology. Two-step, people would essentially say you'd be faking the cut, coming back out to the three. Same with like right here, Waff is like, you know, coming up out the corner, but if the reverse of this would be getting him open or something like that because his man was overreacting to it too hard as well, I can look for him on the reverse. So not only is this a play that gets everybody involved, but it's also a play that can be reacted to if the defenders are reacting to it too well. So boom, reverse right here. As you can see, Waff would have been open to that corner as well. I still hit Bonnie though because he's the primary, essentially is what I'm trying to get at with that sharp take. And it's hard. I will say it's hard to involve everybody with this and keep your eyes open for everything. But what you will see with the cycle action is we're adding so many actions in one, all into just like one offense. So this terminology right here for a corner cut into a hash replace it's already a pretty well-known topic in Pro-Am. It's called a Fifi in most people's like common verbiage, if you will. So what it is essentially, like I said, corner cut with the hash replace to the corner. But with that, I'm still filling in this motion as well, and we're getting Bonnie up to the top. Now, as you can see, they guard that really well that time, but what we're going to do is I'm going to run around to the top, and once we reset it right here, now we're cycling left again. So we just ran it one time already, and now we just ran it again, and this is a crazy thing that works when you surround the court with the multiple people that can shoot from, you know, many different spots. Now, the thing that you want to avoid a tad bit is doing it, let me give this as an example. So as I just mentioned to you guys, me, Bonnie, Dre, it's like I'm point guard, Bonnie is our primary hash, and then Dre is our secondary hash, and these are the stretch bigs. So our lockdowns are doubled up on this side. What I want to avoid when running an offense like this is if I were to call the cycle right, it would move Apollo and Waff up to the top of like two builds that have 78 three-pointer-ish or like 83 in Apollo's case, and it would be both our, you know, stretch bigs in the corners with the super high three-pointer. If you have a versatile offense that has a lot of three-point shooting on it and you have like multiple people that are able to be treated the same way, whether it's like, you know, they can be on the hash and shoot or they can be in the corner and shoot, you can do this whatever direction you want and whatever people like involved you want. But in this case, if I would have called it to the right, it would have been taking Dre out to play a little bit as a shooter because he'd be moving across baseline to baseline. So ideally, in a perfect world where you wanted to set this up like, you know, in the perfect offense, whoever you call this to ideally is a solid cutter, because like I said, Apollo could be hit on that cut if they play it improper. Not to mention, whoever you're calling as the lockdown on the side opposite of it, you want them to be a pretty decent shooter because they might need to be an option on that wrap up as well. So anyway, let's let this play out though. Like I said, we can undo this with like just doing another cycle. So once I get up to the top and we reset, now I'm calling cycle left. Boom, we go. As you can see, it opens up the top for Bonnie again. My own guy reacts to it, as you can see, and I get down for the cut / also get down for just an offensive rebound, and Bonnie's able to fade from 3 off that as well. Now, as you can see, I'm getting bumped up a little bit right here, stalling out on offense, lost in adrenaline. Boom, cycle right. As you can see, getting Bonnie just like freed up and open off my, you know, Hoff Dimer, not Dishmaster currently, but boom. Now look at this one. We got a wrap into the cycle. So this is nasty. This is like really disgusting stuff. And as you can see, it was at the clock too. Like we only had 8 seconds left. I told Bonnie this all specifically. I wish I had the live comms for y'all, but I don't. But right here you can see we tell him to wrap across, and then boom, once I call it, we would go with the cycle right. And as you can see, he's like misdirecting his guy right here. It's going to be a pop where the defender wants to recover to the left, but actually what's going to happen is Bonnie's going to move to the right because the space is opened up for him off me moving, and then also like my space is opened up to move to the right because the rest of my teammates are doing that Fifi action to the side of me. So again, versatile offense that can really just do all types of things. As you can see, this time they react to everything really well off ball, so it leaves me open as an on ball. So let's kind of break this one down because you might need to know how you can react to stuff like this. So corner follows Apollo across really well. He ends up playing that. Everybody follows their guy perfectly, but my guy reaches out to play. So that leaves me right here, as you can see, and even on that drop, I could have dotted Dre to the short side corner as well. And either way, as you can see though, good look for me. So we're able to get it to a meter dunk right there. And as you can see, I'm scoring quite a bit in this offense still, but I wanted to show you guys this because this play can really open up things for you as a passer, 100%. Again, I have Dishmaster takeover right here, and if we can, I'm going to open up the floor for Bonnie, and if this dude is not paying attention, if anybody on the court's not paying attention, if Dre's man's not paying attention and guarding him, I have him on the Fifi for like the movement from the hash to corner. If Apollo's guy's not paying attention, I have him on the cut from corner to paint, or even maybe to the hole replace on the other side of the corner. If Bonnie's guy's not paying attention, I have him on the wrap up like he is right here. If Waff's guy's not paying attention, I have him on the delayed wrap up as well. If you are a good passer in this game, and you can read the whole floor at the same time, you don't even really have to though, to be fair, because like I said, this is mainly for the primary. But if you can read the whole floor at the same time, you have a lot of options awaiting you, just off the simple fact that you need your teammates to learn their one role, literally one job. You just move across clockwise or counterclockwise dependent on the call. So now as you can see, we have Kitchen involved in the runs on a new 6-8 that I will show very soon on the channel as well. But anyway, now Kitchen's our primary, Bonnie's our secondary. So now I'm trying to involve Kitchen a lot more with these, and as you can see, the no dips on these are disgusting as well. I mean, it's already hard enough to stay at home on your own guy. You got to watch out for cuts, you got to watch out for off-ball wraps and movements and stuff like that. And now as you can see, we're just opening the floodgates of just the passing to an open guy. It's a beautiful thing, man. So anyway, right here you can see a little bit of a reset. Now as you can see, we're going to call that cycle. And as you can see, I have my icons up on this type of stuff because I really want to give myself a lot of options on every possible thing. So this will be the last one we break down. I hope y'all enjoyed this video though. And like I said, we will be keeping these short 100%, but I want to be very detailed with them when I do explain everything. So once again, a good look for you right here. If I was keeping my eyes open for everything, because like I said, Kitchen is the primary. I want to be focusing on Kitchen mostly over anybody, but if you see people start keying in on certain parts of your play, you can run it to the opposite side. I don't necessarily have to run this for my primary every time to get him up. I could cycle right here instead. And instead, if Kitchen's guy was playing that flare up really hard, like he kind of is right here, instead I could cycle right. And even though technically when I call these cycle plays, I am calling them mainly for whoever I'm like, you know, looking at on the hash as that primary, you could still treat it like a Fifi. That Fifi action I'm talking about where a corner cuts and a like corner, you know, the hash replaces to the corner. If this guy right here is overplaying the middle too hard because he knows I've been trying to wrap Kitchen up, instead I can just call cycle right instead, and boom, now Kitchen's movement is actually going to be not going across the top, but rather to the corner. So even though Kitchen is my primary, I could still call this away from the primary so that we can actually get him good actions of like moving him to that side. And again, if this dude's helping way too much on that and playing that corner where like Kitchen is going to wrap to it, boom, we got this right here with, this is Salt technically still, but he's on his father's account or something like that. Anyway, if he were on the cut right there and this guy's playing the help to Kitchen too much, we have him on the cut all day because who's going to help? You can't, like, everybody has to be accountable for their own guy. You can't really help from anywhere. You can't just, like, this corner can't just full-on drop off the opposite side because he still has his own hash wrap up to, like, cover. So everything is well covered for as far as offense. And this is what I wanted to get at when I was creating plays in my offensive playbook. I wanted to have something that could beat every type of defense while also being simple for my whole team to run and to be able to undo it when people have the right countermeasures to it. So this right here is the master play, if you ask me. I mean, nothing can actually guard this properly if everybody on your team runs it properly, or if you as the play caller have the right countermeasures for actually, like, you know, people reacting to it well. So anyway, that's all for video. I hope y'all enjoyed. If you did, feel free to drop a like, sub if you're new to noties, all good stuff. Like always, tries 1 to 1,000 likes. And if you made it to the end of the video, put cycle in the comments. George Porch all the way through. And hey, I hope you guys appreciate a video like this. I'd love to post more of them. I want to like completely unload the whole clip when it comes to my playbook. And this is the type of stuff I've been wanting to do for a long time. In case you guys don't know, I'd like to get into coaching, more so for football actually rather than basketball when I get older, or just when the time presents itself properly as well, because obviously right now I'm in the heat of things with the 2K YouTube and stuff, and like it's hard timing wise to get into football coaching or basketball coaching for that matter, with the way that the 2K hot part of the year kind of syncs up in, you know, like September to December, January. It's hard for me to get into coaching at all. So this is a good median for me, if you ask me. I really like the fact that like I can just come out here and turn this into an online coaching session instead, and like teach y'all some of the parts of my playbook and hope that it works for you and your squad as well. And then I don't know, maybe we'll see where that type of stuff leads me in life, I suppose. But anyway, yeah, I just wanted to drop this for you guys because I do have a passion for this coaching stuff. I'm sure you've noticed by the way I treat my videos in general of trying to be an informative. But yeah, this is the type of stuff I'm really trying to be on. So anyway, that's all video. If you want to see more, make sure you drop a like. And other than that, catch you in the next one. Take it easy, man. Peace.